In the UK right now, there seems to be a huge disparity in how much people are earning. You seem to have a small portion of people over here earning an extreme amount of money while the rest of us aren't earning that much at all. And that's what the media would make it out to look like. And quite frankly, the UK is not doing so hot right now. For most people, they're definitely being squeezed in terms of their monthly budget. But just how much does the top 1% earn, the top 5% earn, and the top 10% earn? That's what we're going to take a look at in today's video. First, we'll take a look at the top 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50%. Then I'll show you the complete income distribution chart so you can find out exactly what percentile your income places you in. Before we go through the data, pause this video and add your guesses for each of the percentiles below in the comment. You have the top 1%, top 5%, top 10%, top 20, and top 50. And that is the top 1% of earners, the top 5% of earners, etc. What do you think the minimum you need is to enter each of those brackets? Comment it down below and let me know and see how you did at the end of this video. So first up, the top 1%. I always thought of the top 1% as deca millionaires pulling in at least $500,000 a year, but that's simply just not the case. To be in the top 1% of earners in the UK, you need to earn over £183,000 per year pre-tax. And while that's a great salary and is more than enough for anyone to live on, it still shocks me that that is the top 1%. And I would expect that many people are earning that amount of money and don't think they're anywhere near the top 1% of earners. After tax, that's about £106,000 per year, which is less than 10k per month. Again, it's great, but it's not Jeff Bezos on a yacht money. If you live in London, you're probably in a modest apartment and go on holiday once or twice a year. Not exactly what people imagine when they hear about the top 1%, the rich of the rich. Many of these people are just living normal, everyday lives. And it's kind of crazy that 180,000, while amazing and while a lot more than 99% of people in the country, it's not a huge sum of money. It's not what you imagine when you think of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and you see these people protesting in the streets about taxing the rich. Next up, we have the top 5%. The top 5% of earners are making £82,200 or more in the UK, while significantly more than the median average income of £33,280, it's probably less than you expected. After tax, your take-home pay would be roughly £55,000 per year or £4,500 per month. I don't know about you, but again, the first time I saw these figures, I was shocked. These are the top 5% of all earners in the country, and they're earning less than £82,200 per year. It really shows the cap on earnings in the UK when compared to the amount of money that similar jobs in the United States can make. In many high-stress professions that take 7 to 8 years to get qualified for, it's hard to make any more than 100k without starting your own business around your profession. For example, take doctors, take lawyers. These are very hard professions that take a lot of skill, a lot of effort, and a lot of time to get into, and they're very high-stress jobs with a lot of risk and liability coming along with them. But you don't get paid in proportion to the risk that you take. Obviously, people have other reasons for taking these jobs, and that's commendable. However, if you're solely going out there and trying to get a job just to make money, that's probably not the route to go down. Yet it's pushed on a lot of people in school saying, this is where you want to go if you want to make a lot of money. That's what I was told in school anyway. Yet it's not really in the UK. Yes, in America and the States, these jobs can make you huge amounts of money. But in the UK, without going private, it's going to be hard to make a lot in those professions. Many people with online businesses in the UK make a lot more than this by selling services to the United States, where there's a lot more disposable income and businesses have a lot more money to spend. And honestly, they just have a lot less stress compared to operating on someone on an operating table. Now, if that is you, obviously that is an amazing job and we need them out there. But in the UK, I feel it's a very underpaid job. Now let's look at the top 10%. To be in the top 10% of earners in the UK, you need to bring in £59,200 per year. Out of 10 people, only one of them in the UK is making over £59,000 per year. That's crazy. Once we start to reach 25%, that distribution really starts to flatten out and there's much smaller changes between each of the percentiles. We'll take a full look at the chart in a second. But to reach that top 25%, you need to earn over £39,800 per year pre-tax. And to reach the top 50%, you need to earn over £26,300. Now, obviously, the 50th percentile is the median. So why does 26,300 number differ from the 33,280 number I quoted earlier? Well, that £33,280 number is the median of all full-time workers, whereas the numbers above includes anyone who has had an income, including part-time workers, in these specific years. So that will obviously go ahead and drag down those median numbers. So how did you do in our guessing game? Were you close or were you way off? I'm pretty excited to read those comments because I know I was extremely far off, especially for the 1, 5, and 10 levels. The numbers just really shocked me. If we look at the income distribution, we can see how income is spread throughout the UK for the whole population. As you see on this chart, income really starts to spike for higher end earners in that top 6 or 7% or so. They earn significantly more than their counterparts. Yet earnings never really get outrageous, even for that top 1%. Obviously, there's the top 0.1 in there who will make insane money, but for people, even those in top end professions, most of them are earning less than £180,000 per year. This just goes to show that building a large amount of wealth really isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you spend and invest. Live below your means and invest a portion of your income each month. Get those assets working for you that are going to generate wealth outside of your income over a long period of time. To get started investing more, I would recommend creating a budget and sticking to it. Allocate a portion of your income to buying assets such as index funds, stocks, properties, which can grow and pay you dividends over long periods of time. We have a budget tracking sheet down below in the description that makes life much, much easier. If that is something you want to do, you can go ahead and download it in the description. Many high income earners, even in the hundreds of thousands, still struggle with their finances because they simply inflate their lifestyle too much without investing. And that leads them to work paycheck to paycheck, and even though they're making really good money, they still feel stressed and they don't have that financial freedom. Personally, I love the story of Ronald Read, who was a janitor that died with over 8 million in assets. Even though he never earned a huge salary, he was still able to amass a wild fortune. And he did this by investing a portion of his paycheck over long periods of time, allowing compound interest to really go to work. And chances are, from watching this, you're likely in a higher percentile of earners than you might have thought. Even if you're not, you can still become wealthy like Ronald through investing. If you want to learn how you can get started investing, check out this next video teaching you how to invest in your first index fund. So if you thought that the top 10, the top 5, and the top 1% of income would be much higher like me, there's probably a reason for that. And one, I think for me, it's definitely being warped in this finance social media world where you see most people and you're watching videos, they're earning a lot of money. They're making money, they've got big portfolios, and you start to kind of get those numbers in your head as normal. You also, in just general, see on social media the best of everyone's lives. You see the best cars, you see the best watches, you see the holiday they bought, they see all the influencers, and you're only seeing the things that get promoted on social media by the algorithm, and that is expensive stuff, essentially, right? It's pushing what you want to see, and that's generally what people want. And when you see that, you start to become accustomed to it in your brain and think that's normal, when in fact, it's not. Someone earning £59,000 a year is in the top 10% of people in the UK. That's commendable. That is, a really good position to be in. However, if you're earning 59,000 and you're scrolling through your phone watching people on private jets and yachts, it's hard to think that you're doing well. And that comparison can be the thief of joy. So look at the chart, see whereabouts you are, see how you can get higher in the chart if you want to. But chances are, if you're watching these finance videos, you're making some decent money, you're probably doing a lot better than you thought you were. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, give it a big like, go ahead and subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.